Queen's Comic Podcast. Hey, let's go.
Go for it.
Hey, I'm Billy Bombs, and this is the Queen's Comic Party. How are you?
I'm Ian. What do you got there?
Ashley Slashy, I just pulled out of storage.
Very nice.
Bro, I forgot this thing existed, and it freaks out my dog.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but also, unfortunately, we have to announce that Doug Sackman passed away.
He did. I saw that earlier today, and that sucks. Rest in peace, Kabuki Man.
Rest in peace, Kabuki Man. How'd you know him?
Through the trauma stuff.
Porn for me.
What was that?
Porn.
Okay.
From Burning Angel. And I couldn't stop laughing when I realized it's the same guy.
Oh, yeah, no, he did the effects on Repenetrator, didn't he?
I saw him at all their weird parties in the early 2000s, and I was like, who the hell is this big nerd? And he was like, oh, come to my zombie crawl. When I saw him years later, I was like, all right. Great dude, but sucks that he's gone, you know?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. He was pretty young, but rest in peace,
man. Yeah,
he's
4 years older than me. I'm going to be 40. Yeah. He's 44.
Right, so 5 years younger than me.
Oh, word, man. Well, who knows? We're not going to go detail on people's stuff.
No.
What do you want to go into this week? You want to talk about Garden State Comics Festival?
I'll talk about Saturday first. You were working, so
what was Saturday?
That was when we were supposed to have the barbecue, but it got rained out. So Matthew, our friend Matthew, he and I went crawling. We stopped at Anthony's in the Bronx, and then we went to Midtown, really just pick up my new books, and then to Action City Comics in Williamsburg, and Comic Book Station in Williamsburg. So I got a few, and then we ended at Desert Island, also in Williamsburg.
Why don't you start off what you got, because I want to see it, but I'm also going to grab what I got over the weekend. I forgot.
Okay.
Because I got a stack of books I want to show you, but you first.
All right. So yeah, first we went to Anthony's in the Bronx, where I didn't pick up a ton of stuff, some Charlton horror stuff that is on the other side of the room, and I'm not going to get up and get it. I'm going to wait for you to get back here.
All right, cool.
So anyway, yeah, so we stopped at Anthony's in the Bronx first, where my obsession continues. Picked up a Nancy and Sluggo book.
I can't believe that you keep finding this stuff.
They're pretty heavily printed for their era. So they're definitely
fair.
They're always beat to hell, but that's okay. They're old kids comics. And then I got some Charlton horror stuff that's, I don't know, on the other side of the room somewhere that I forgot to grab. And then I grabbed that, which is...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the beginning of Kirby's Fourth World Saga.
But that's not the first appearance of Darkseid?
No, that's the issue after it.
Oh, because it's still Superman being carried. That's what threw me off.
Yeah. I actually thought it was the first Darkseid when I picked it up. Thought I was getting an amazing deal. Wasn't. I was still getting a good deal. But yeah, so it's a very nice copy too. The colors on it are great. There's like one spine tick, but it's a really nice copy. And then from Comic Book Station, I picked up another Nancy book.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then from the dollar bin, and Matthew literally heard me like squeal when I found this. You're gonna look at this, you're gonna be like, why did you buy a Buffy book? Who cares? You don't collect Buffy. And then you notice Richard Corbin worked on it.
That's awesome.
He only did 4 pages. I've been trying to track this down for like 2 years. I didn't want to pay more than a couple bucks for it because it's not worth anything. But it was always sold out at the bigger online stores. Midtown didn't have it. My Comic Shop didn't have it. Mile High didn't have it. I would see it on eBay, but it's like, I didn't want to pay $5 for it, another $5 shipping when the book's only worth $2 or $3. So I finally found a copy. It's not Corbin's best work, but
I believe it. You got to remember, he was 80 when he passed, so you know he's been doing.
So he was probably in his early 70s when he did this. It's good. It's good work, and it definitely stands out from the other art inside. So it's cool to have it. Check that one off my list, and then I grabbed a couple more Nancy books because I am obsessed. And then from Action City, I grabbed Dawn Attack, the wraparound Frazetta cover.
Very nice.
That was cool. And then when we stopped at Desert Island, I made the biggest comic purchase I've made in a while. and that was a couple of original EC pre-code crime books.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Crime Suspense Stories number 13, and then Shock Suspense Stories number 11. With that classic Johnny Craig cover on there. These were the comics that were ruining America's youth in the 50s. And they're in pretty good shape. Gabe gave me a fair price for the two of them. Can't complain about that. He was in a good mood. And I was very happy to take those home. So that was my Saturday. We can get to Sunday in a minute, but you said you had some stuff you wanted to show off.
Yeah, because I didn't get that much, but like because everything I got was at the show with you. But like I'll do the two things that I got. I went to Midtown Comics and I got this off the wall, the last comic book I needed, and then this scarce run of Simpsons Spectacular. This is the only books I really collect, and I don't need to do more than that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then a collection came in that was up your alley, so I grabbed that. I didn't pay cheap for it, so I need to make back, but I owe everybody something. So it was all these horror books came in.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, it's all the it's not all, it's like Avatar, but other issues. Then the Wildstorm.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
I'm just showing Texas Chainsaw Massacre first.
Sure.
And they're gruesome covers, man.
The Avatar ones especially, because Avatar a lot of times would do gore variants.
Yeah. These are the gore variants.
Yeah, they look like it.
Yeah, these are just gory as hell. Like this. Come on, dog. Like, look at all the guts.
You should check out some of the covers that were done, the gore variant covers that were done for the Crossed series.
I don't mess with Crossed because I don't like the people that collect Crossed. Because they're very like weird. Garth Ennis is a crazy person, so I'm putting tape on this one. You have a lot of books here, so I'm gonna bring it for you this weekend. That's Friday the 13th.
Very cool.
Yeah, since I owe you, we could do, I can work towards that.
Yeah.
But if there's any of them you don't need, I put prices on them so we can sell them at the show, but it'll go.
Sure. Yeah, that's cool.
Like, come on, dude,
yeah.
These are crazy. Dude, I got a bunch here. I just want to show them all off because they're kind of sick.
It looks like, is it the whole run? The whole Avatar run?
It's like each set, like 3 books, and then Fear book number 1. Okay. Like, it'll be the miniseries for Friday the 13th. It was called Bloodbath, and then a one-shot.
Oh, I got it, yeah.
You got this one?
No, I mean, I got it, and I understand what you're saying.
And then random Jason X.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm going to show you all the other ones of this other set, the one-shot for Friday the 13th. I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street after. But these covers are gruesome.
Yeah, they're pretty crazy.
Yeah, and that I was like, I gotta show this to you before we start talking about Garden State. But this is the praise. Now I understand why parents hated comics.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
But there's a lot of them. There's the whole run, miniseries plus one shot. And here's a book. I bought this off the stand, and I was so disgusted by it as a kid when I was 13. With the cheerleader and all that stuff, I was like, this is insane. But these are yours.
Awesome.
So it'll help me towards what I paid for the set.
Great.
Jake needed the Dakin, so that's going to be fine because you don't need it, right?
Which one?
The first Dakin.
No, it's fine.
We get those a lot. He just needed a copy badly. I am keeping nothing from that set. That's the first time I ever looked in a box. I was like, I need nothing.
Yeah.
So let's go into straight into New Jersey. How'd you like Garden State Festival?
Well, first of all, thanks to Chuck at Hot Flips for giving us the passes. Because had I paid $30 or $35 to get in, I don't know how happy I would have been.
I would have been angry.
Yeah. I do feel like it might have been better to go on the Saturday because I saw other people post what they picked up on Saturday, and they were pulling good books. I feel like maybe it was picked over by the time we got there.
I feel that, but that's why I don't like doing 2-day shows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People do not go and pick up new books to bring back to sell.
Right. There were a few vendors who, had their prices been down to earth and normal, I would have dropped a bunch of money at their tables, but I'm not going to pay 30 to 40 to 50% more than a book is worth just because they're selling it at a show. And there was a fair bit of that going on. In fact, I would say there was a lot of that going on. I won't name any names because I don't want to hurt anybody's business, but there was one guy there who had a ton of great ECs, a ton of great undergrounds, a ton of great independent stuff, and that's
That
my
guy was
wheelhouse.
insane.
Yeah,
That guy was truly insane. Those prices were insane.
he had gorgeous, gorgeous stuff, but his prices were like 50 to 60% higher than they should have been. Had his prices been normal, you've been with me, like, that's where I'll spend money. Mainstream superhero stuff, I'm not going to pay market value for that stuff. I'll pick
You
it
will
up
always find it.
Right. I'll pick it up when it's cheap. But like the indie underground stuff I know is harder to find. So I'll drop more money on that stuff if it's a book I want, but not that much.
Remember, we found another guy with those trippy books that you got me.
There was a vendor who had the 2 Rory Hayes Boogeyman books for sale. He had issue 2 and issue 3. And issue 2, which was, I would say, in good condition, not very good or fine, but good condition, he wanted $80 for. And issue 3, which is around the same grade, he wanted $60 for. You can get them on eBay in comparable shape, if not better shape, for 40. So why am I going to pay this guy twice as much? He said he could do better on it, but I mean, is he going to cut his prices in half for me? Probably not.
Well, you saw me have that situation with G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit pissed off with G.I. Joe this week, but I'm going to let it go. But nothing to do with them. There was so many voice actors there, and it was excellent. But we'll get back to that in a second. But one guy had the Mega Marines monsters.
Yeah.
And I've never seen them. But I told the guy, I said, let me come back. I had to pay a guy for the rack we bought.
Right.
So I had to pay Armand, who's a guy who's going to put out a YouTube video on how to make these things and show people for the community, which is going to be excellent.
Yeah.
Great vendor. We had to go pick it up from him. Thank God I did that, because while we were waiting, I looked up how much they were on eBay, and it was like $15 each.
Yeah.
From $80. I was like, that is a big drop.
Right. And we sell at shows. You and I sell at shows. We know the amount of work that goes into it. We know the costs that are involved. You got to pay your table fees. You got to get there. If you're staying overnight, there's hotel rooms involved. There's food involved. So it's not free to set up at shows,
100%.
But if you want to move your books, you got to be competitive. You can't mark your stuff up that high and expect to move it. At least I can't. That strategy doesn't work for me. Not that I've ever specifically tried it, but I try to go through my stock on a regular basis and make sure my prices are where they should be. It's not always possible, but I try. These guys, I don't know, it was like 2021 comic boom prices on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, everybody, toys, comics.
Yeah.
There was one vendor who had good prices, but he had a book with everything priced out. Every single book was priced in this giant catalog. So I pulled some books from him. It was all Simpsons, nothing special, all in the 60s and 70s. So I'm not even going to show them because they're not worth the effort. $2 each.
Yeah.
But the biggest book I got at that convention was honestly, was this one. I got one Turok for $1, and I was lucky to get that.
Yeah. I found some.
And then we stopped by the indie guy. Do you have your indie books that you picked up?
I got my pile here. Yeah. And I think all said and done, I spent $60 at that show. And that, for this,
I probably spent around somewhere similar. I bought like some nothing book. Oh, because I spent $10 to meet Howard Chaykin.
Yeah.
And he was great. Thank you for the book you let me to get it signed from him, because I know it's with the other indie book I got. Because I got one crazy covered one.
What did I give you? I gave you the Black Hawk, right?
Yeah, Black Hawk 1. He signed it. Great guy.
Have you read it?
Told me about the next trade coming out. Huh?
Have you read it?
No.
So you're going to want to get 2 and 3 because it's the 3-issue set. He wrote and illustrated all 3 of them, prestige format from the late 80s, early 90s, I think. It's really good.
I believe it.
What he did with the Shadow, where he kind of brought it into the modern era and made it for an adult audience, is what he does with Black Hawk. And it deals with like the McCarthyism and like the rise of America versus communism in the post-World War II world. And it's a really, really good read. Super underrated. You can get issues. You can get them in dollar bins.
I'll look for them because you've not steered me wrong.
You'll want to finish it. But
yeah, you've never steered me wrong on comics. But the only other person I met there was Billy West, the voice of Fry and Zoidberg from Futurama. I took a photo with him. So if anybody follows the Instagram, always meet your heroes. This guy did not disappoint as a human being.
He was really nice.
Yeah, great guy. He was like, "Oh, don't blame me for your childhood," and it was the
Yeah.
funniest thing in the world because you could tell this guy genuinely loved what he did.
Hmm. Yeah,
You
he
know,
was
so
fun.
that was cool. But I got only a few more comics other than The Simpsons. I got this book.
Yep. Cool.
I know you were eyeballing it, but I was like, I got to get something cool. Sorry, man. I'll find
Oh,
you
no,
another
no,
one.
no. Well, I'll find another one. It's not a big deal.
And then I picked up $1 Mr. Monster.
Yeah, I finished the that's the Eclipse run, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I finished that run a couple months ago. It's excellent.
I love all this stuff. They canceled the omnibus coming out.
Hmm.
So that's kind of a difficulty for me because like I'm a big fan of omnibuses. Like I backed out of doing the GI Joe trade paperback because I am never gonna read them. I read GI Joe issues whenever I get my hands on them because they're fun to read.
Yeah.
You know, and it's okay. Like I'm a little bit tight. I didn't get like some GI Joes this past week, but I got to go to a comic. I got to go to a comic book store in Brooklyn called Galaxy Comics Bay Ridge, and I hung out with the guy who ran the place and talked about GI Joe for 3 hours.
Cool.
And both of us were like, we're not buying the omnibus. We're just going to read the single issues, enjoy them, and move on.
That's
And then
it.
we talked about how 2008 prices are not 2022 prices for anything.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at for $125 in 2008. I looked up an old email. I got 85 GI Joes and 4 vehicles for $125.
Yep, I believe it.
You know, and stuff changes. Oh, and then I did a street fair earlier today, and I got the Jetsons.
Oh, cool.
I went to go buy the whole collection. It was all shit.
Yeah.
But I got the Jetsons for $1.
Not bad.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on like the line for there was one problem with the line. There was a Walt Simonson line, and they had to cap it at 10 for him doing sketches, but he's king of doing quick sketches, so I was a little bit surprised at that.
Yeah, I think that was his choice. I don't think that was up to the promoters. I think Walt just decided I'll do 10 sketches and that's that. Because let's face it, he's not a young man anymore. It's got to be a
Not at all.
but he and Louise are still the friendliest people you can meet at a show. They're great.
They make every show worthwhile going to.
Yep.
But I do understand when you do sketches with people, it hurts a little bit because those people are a little bit crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think it was unreasonable for him to do that. You know, it's his call to make. It's his time and his income. And if he wants to cap it at 50, then so be it. If you want to get a sketch from him, know ahead of time that he's getting up there in years and he's going to cap it at 10. So get your ass in line early, I guess.
I know I'm running out of people to get sketches from, but like I like to fill in my book, and I always try and get new artists because they're always fresh. But the new artists cost more than the old artists.
They do, which is crazy.
Yeah, like I'm not paying somebody $200 for a head sketch. I've never seen anything you've ever done.
Yeah, it's nuts.
You know, while Walt Simonson, even though I wait on this line, it's like, oh, $20.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude.
No, he's not gouging his fans. He treats them well.
Never. Howard Chaykin wasn't gouging. I liked his prices for anything was good.
Yeah.
It just, how do I say this? I come to these places, I'm always broke. That's the one thing I'm not gonna lie to you. I know I'm always broke. I work 4 jobs. I run 2 comic book shows. I am a criminal at heart, and I still never make enough. I am the definition of like a gangster because I'm always broke. But I'm always trying. But we do stuff.
You'll get there. You'll get there.
Yeah, one day. I also picked up some more stuff from somebody gave me a gift. I don't know if I ever did this on the podcast. Did I ever show you the Marvel Unlimited gift I got?
I don't think so.
In the She-Hulk box?
No. That's cool.
Have you ever seen it?
You know what? Now that you're showing it off, I think you might have.
Yeah. I think I did too. That's why I'm going to throw it off. I just
Yeah.
took it home finally. But it comes with a Daredevil action figure I'm going to post up. And then I got myself a vintage figure of Apocalypse from when I was a kid.
All right.
And then this wasn't at shows. This was like just personal collections I've been collecting through the years finding. And then Sunfire with this weird box that they no longer do.
Okay.
All right. Do we have any serious topics to really go over?
No. You want to see what I picked up at the show?
Fuck yeah.
You saw
Because I know
most
you
of
have
it.
one big book I want to see.
I mean, none of them are really big books, but
But there was one that's super rare, signed.
yes,
You found in the bottom bin.
I'll
and
get
you
to it.
ran back at the end.
Yeah,
I
I'll get to
almost
it.
died waiting for you.
It's actually right here on top of that. I'll start with it. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's EO number 2, Rebel Studios, signed and numbered by Tim Vigil, and it's actually the San Diego edition.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was $20. That was my big purchase for the day at the show. Was one $20 book. Everything else, the second most expensive book I bought was another Nancy book, which has also got some early Peanuts in it. That was $10. That was from Chuck and Hot Lips. He hooked me up with a nice price on that. And then I paid $3 for this Bob's Burgers book, which has an awesome
Enter the Dragon.
Enter the Dragon. Yeah, I love that cover. I actually already have this issue, but I bought this just for the cover.
Yeah, of course.
And then I think everything else here was $1. So Star Reach number 13. And I got Ghostly Tales number 167.
That's awesome.
I love the Charlton Horror stuff. Weird War Tales number 5. Still working on that run. Getting closer. Yeah. And then just a bunch more random Charlton Horror. Some of these were only 50 cents. Got some Ghostly Tales. Ghost Manor. That cover is fantastic by Tom Sutton. Love that cover.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah. Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves, another Tom Sutton cover. And then Haunted with some Steve Ditko action going on there. There's a fair bit of Charlton Horror here. Another Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves book.
Yeah. Dude, at least you're picking them up now before you can't find them later.
Yeah. Ghostly Tales with some more Steve Ditko. Another Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves. Don't know who did this one. It's a painted cover, which is kind of cool. It's not especially well painted, but it is painted.
I love that.
Another Dr. Graves, which
what a great cover.
Yeah, I think that might be Sutton again. I'm not sure. There's no signature on it. Monster Hunters. Another Monster Hunters. That's Ditko on the cover again.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, and then another Monster Hunters, which, again, painted by somebody. There's no signature, so I can't tell who. I'm going to guess Tom Sutton on that, but I don't know for sure. And then some more dollar bin scores. I picked up all 3 issues of Superman, Madman, Hullabaloo.
That's a great run. I have those because I collect all Madmen, but now I just try and get the omnibuses or whatever.
Yeah, I like Madman too. I read those last night. It's pretty fun. It's really entertaining.
It's hard not to like Mike Allred.
It is. And then this thing is pretty cool. I grabbed this because Frazetta cover again, right?
Yeah, Death Dealer
issue. And as I was flipping through it last night, there's an ad in the back that I thought was pretty neat for the Frank Frazetta Painting with Fire documentary, the 2 DVD set, which this won't show up on camera very well, I don't think, but there's a blurb right there. I wrote that.
How awesome is that?
Yeah. I had no idea that it was used on the ad for the release, but I reviewed it for the website DVD Talk years ago when it came out. And I went through all the extras, and it was a great documentary. I gave it a really positive review. So they pulled a quote and used it in the ad. I had no idea. That was like 12, 15 years ago, maybe. I did not know until I pulled this out of a dollar bin and flipped through it last night. So that was kind of funny.
You know what that reminds me of? Like, I was thinking about doing this because you're such a big movie buff. And then that's a documentary, right?
Mm-hmm.
I always want to do movie nights at the venue we use for all our comic book conventions. One of them is definitely documentaries because they're getting few and far between to get.
Yeah.
Like, I have Turtle Power, the one that has the original cast from the cartoon and the original animator who came up with all the stuff.
I've seen that.
Eastman
really
and Laird. Huh?
I said, I've seen that. It's really well done.
Yeah, and I realized how much fandom don't know those exist.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this weekend, we have our big comic book show. We return to Brooklyn Invasion. It's gonna be a great show. It's a free admission show, so I'm not worried about it getting packed. But a lot of people are like, aren't you worried about Undiscovered Realm, which is a bigger show in over here? I said, not really, because it's far from the train and you have to take Metro North.
People from New York are probably not going to go to that show.
And we give a spot to go.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that show does well. I hope the guys who are promoting it,
I'm always rooting for people.
I hope they make their money back and then some. I hope they turn a profit and keep doing it. But I don't think it's going to compete with what we're doing in Brooklyn.
Never. But here's what I'm a little bit annoyed with. It's what's left. It's what's left of the cast of Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
and with the guy who plays Casey Jones.
Mhm.
And the only reason he's doing it is because Queen's Comic Party has been hounding him for 2 years to come do one of our shows. I said, "What do you want? Just come to New York," because he lives in Manhattan, and one of our vendors is his childhood friend.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
And he wrote him, and now he's doing the Westchester. So I guess he thinks it's gonna be easier. I wish him the best.
Yeah.
But I would love to meet him, but I'm not gonna run up to. I'm not paying $40 to get in.
Right. No, I'm not at it.
You know
Plus
what I
the
mean?
tolls-
Like,
plus the tolls you got to pay to drive out there, or the train, however you want to get there.
I'm not taking Metro North and then cab in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. We're very blessed to have cars because of our jobs and our lives.
Right.
But not everybody has that situation. When I was 20 and I was like just a doorman or working as a porter, I'd never have a car.
You didn't need one.
Yeah, no, because I worked in Manhattan. I took the train. You know what I mean? You know, I was like a Bon Jovi song getting out there. You know what I mean? But now you're like, some of these comic conventions are a trip, and I wish everybody the best. And I wish we were invited a little bit too to see what to get like a table I would have set up there. But we're gonna have an excellent show. I hope all my artist friends make a lot of money out there.
Yeah, me too.
You know, but I'm starting to see so many shows pop up everywhere, and like I'm just like we're keep chugging along 3 years straight of doing this. We're on our 50 some odd shows.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, no, we're insane.
That too.
Yeah, but it's gonna be free this Saturday. You're gonna have a lot of comics. I'm gonna have a lot of comics. I talked to some of our mutual friends, and they were like, "Oh, I'm not traveling just because there's a show in Westchester."
Right.
And I feel like nobody's gonna be traveling, but they have private sellers that are coming for their stuff.
They might get enough people from like the Westchester, Yonkers, upstate crowd.
Yeah, the Hudson Valley, whatever.
Yeah.
I hope so, because they need that. But there's also a Poughkeepsie convention that's very good.
Oh, is that the same? Is that this weekend as well?
I think that's coming like next month.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And my favorite thing about New Jersey, like I want to complain about this because I had a little bit of a rough couple of days on the phone because I got doxxed a couple of months ago, and so people are calling me about the party right before we do Brooklyn. I get a lot of like shitty calls, and I just ignore them. Sometimes I post, I'm like, "Oh, just bring it." You know what I mean? Because I want that. Come on, you know what I mean? Come to the show.
Right.
And nobody ever shows up, you know. But I see so many shows popping up. I wish people the best, but then I see people in Jersey who skip New York City completely, but they're from Long Island. I'm like, dog, come out here, man. Have a good time. You know, we're like 8 million people. I'm sure I can find a couple of comic book collectors in here.
You would think.
Yeah, over time we'll get there. It'll get better. Just like this show. Like, what is this, episode 31 or 32?
This will be 31.
Yeah. Dog, I plan on doing 100 of these, man, before you kill me. You know what I mean? But we'll always keep chug along, you know? Is there any books you're coming up with now? Because I have a bad thing to say about some comics if we have a minute.
Say that again?
You have any comic books you're waiting for right now to come out?
Department of Truth is out after a 1.5-year long hiatus.
Well, he's doing like 40 other books.
It should be waiting for me at Midtown to pick up. So I'm excited about that because I loved that book when it came out, and they're gonna tie it into the JFK assassination, which I think will be really interesting.
Well, it was about time if you read the first two trades.
Zatanna also doing the sequel to Nice House on the Lake is coming out soon.
That's nice, but that's a book I got to read the whole trade for.
Was one of the best horror comics of the last 10 years.
Excellent. He's a great writer, but he does like 20 books.
Yeah,
because he's got World Tree and he's got other ones, right. And then a lot of books are really bad artwork, and I'm very excited that the new comic books coming out. Like Zatanna came out today. I put it on the side the foil cover.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge Zatanna fan, but a lot of books I've seen the interior artwork are very bland on purpose, and people are warning us it's because they want to replace artists with AI.
Yeah,
the more bland it is, the easier it is to replicate. And I was like, "Oh, that's terrible."
It is. It's horrible. But you know what you can't replicate?
What's that?
This book I also found in the dollar bin at Comic Book Station that I completely forgot about. It is Real Life Comics presents Healthman. He battles the AIDS crisis.
Holy shit. Who wrote that one?
Nobody you've ever heard of. It's written by somebody who's credited only as Schnackenberg. So it's written by Schnackenberg, penciled by Garrett. My wife is laughing about Schnackenberg on the other side over there. Penciled by Garrett Berner. cover art is by Chris Renkowitz, and it's from 1992 by Personality Comics, the guys who did all those biography comics and sports comics.
I had a feeling from the stuff on the back on that one.
On the back cover, oddly enough, there is a portrait of a New York Yankee. I don't know enough about the Yankees.
It's Joe DiMaggio.
There you go. So I don't know why there's a painted portrait of Joe DiMaggio on the back of Healthman versus the AIDS Crisis.
I love how the 90s is just books like trying to help people, like Streets of Poison and Killer Rank with Todd McFarlane and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And now Healthman.
And no disrespect to Garrett Berner, but like, look at this art.
It could be in today's comics. I read Fantastic Four. It was the same artwork.
This art is
Yo,
not.
It is not good at all, dude.
Let me find.
There's
let
no
me find
Sam
this one.
Keefe's coming out.
Let me find this one panel. Here we go. What exactly is Healthman doing there? He's kicking a baby. He's kicking a baby up in the air, and the baby's just going like, wee. Also, Healthman's secret identity is Doug. Just Doug.
But not Doug Funny, right? We met him.
I don't know. I really don't know what's going on here, but he was born to become Healthman. It says so right there.
But that makes no sense. None of this makes sense.
It's
I feel like the lady explaining Facebook to old ladies.
Yeah, but there's we got a full page spread with Healthman jumping over fire.
That dude just wanted to draw flames.
Yeah. For some reason, this only lasted one issue. Go figure. But
was it a giveaway?
No. I don't think. It's got it. Well, no, it has a cover price on it. $2.95. Money well spent. In 1992, $2.95 was high.
Yeah, no shit, man. That's up there.
But one interesting thing is in the back pages here, there are a few ads for Spider-Femme with the Adam Hughes cover on it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And then another ad for what's this thing here? I don't know, some other random Adam Hughes covers. Bat Babe and whatever that thing is on the other side here. I don't know what that is. It doesn't really say. Yeah, they don't actually announce the title of that one.
That's funny.
Yeah. So yeah, Healthman. Found that for $1. Probably spent too much on it, but you know I'm a sucker for nonsense like that.
Of course, we still had that serial killer comic. It was about killer cereal.
Yeah, yeah. We got to go over that on an episode.
We'll find it. But do we have anything else we got?
Shout out to Blue Point, whose summer lager is quite tasty.
Very nice.
Blue Point, if you want to sponsor the show, get in touch.
We got to figure that out and get more sponsors. I think the only guy that wants to sponsor us is Hot Flips, and I'm like, all right. I'm already hanging out at all these shows anyway, repping him. He don't even need to pay me. I love that guy. The only thing I'm excited about, I can't wait to see what this show brings. I'm just afraid of what I'm gonna buy because I know so much good shit is coming.
Yeah, I'm bringing a lot of new stuff on Saturday.
Yeah,
I did a bit of a purge on the PC, and it's my first show in almost 2 months, over 2 months.
Oh wow! So, yeah. You've been traveling, all that stuff.
Yeah, because I couldn't do May because it was on Mother's Day, and I couldn't do June because it was my birthday weekend. So I'm gonna have a ton of new stuff, a lot of indie and underground stuff, a lot of horror stuff, and then mainstream superhero stuff too. But I'm mostly excited.
This is why I'm broke, because you stole the comics for both of us. That's why I got no money.
Yeah.
Nobody buys comics for me at all. They think I'm a rich person. I was like, no, I don't. So buy my books.
Well, bring good stuff. I mean, we're gonna have 3 tables. You said, right?
I can bring a million things. Nobody's gonna look at it if they think I own it.
Yeah, it's not the case. But yeah, we're gonna have 3 tables of stuff, and we're gonna have the new rack set up. We're gonna be.
We got the rack. We're gonna have great stuff. We're gonna have.
We're gonna be the big fish. We're gonna be the big fish.
We're gonna be the first big fish in a while. You know what it is? Because our favorite big fish, it got a new hip, so we can't bring him.
Right.
He was like, I'm this close. He goes, I'll see you next month. And then we're gonna have we got a lot of new guys coming for next month already.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be
at the July show because I'm gonna be on vacation. I won't be at the July Brooklyn show because I'll be on vacation.
Well, I'm replacing you with Nelson.
Yeah, do it.
He's gonna bring he's getting rid of his PC. He's purging, baby.
I know.
Purging.
Yeah.
Because he wants to only do foreign books, which I find so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The international man of mystery, Nelson.
He is. World traveler.
Yo, the funnest guy.
He is.
He's like one of my favorite people to talk to at any convention.
I know you.
He's always positive.
I know you don't drink, but come out with him and I one night.
I know, but
You don't have to.
I gotta come out. I'll come
you
out.
Just have water. You can just hang out and enjoy the conversation.
I know your wife made fun of me. She's like, "I'll buy you a Coke. Don't worry."
Yeah, exactly.
But here, let's wrap it up, I guess, so we don't keep prolonging it.
Yeah.
We got Saturday's a big show. Tomorrow I'm doing the setup. We're gonna have some fun. I'm Billy Bones with the Queen's Comic Party,
I'm Ian,
and we'll see you next time, buddy.
Healthman.
Yeah. Woo!
Queen's Comic Podcast.